Hi there YouTube, Big G, back again with another video. And I came down with a spot of flu, so I self-quarantined myself here in my games room. I mean, I've spent now a couple of days here in the games room, and I'm getting absolutely bored out of my mind. And I thought, what a better time now, well, I don't have a better time than now, but to start cataloging my collection. And the reason for this is I watched a video on a YouTuber in America, Metal Jesus Rocks, and he went and he did a video on cataloging software, and that sort of piqued my interest. And I thought, well, I've got the time, I've got the inclination, so let me do it. Let me catalog the software. So I went and I downloaded the app that he suggested, or that his viewers suggested, which is Gameye, which I've installed on my phone, and I've started the process of cataloging my collection. And I mean, the software is free. It links to a database on the net, which you can update as well. And so far so good. Let me show you how my cataloging process goes in getting everything cataloged. I think it's a good idea. I mean, you get to a stage where you lose track of what you actually have in your collection. And I found myself purchasing or buying stuff online that I already owned, simply because I didn't realize that I actually owned it. The cover art was different, or it was worded slightly differently, or it was a German version and I had an English version or something like that, and you actually end up with some duplicates. And yeah, I think it will be quite fun going through the process. Yeah, so tag along for the ride. Well, your first step, guys, is to go to your Google Play Store and just search for Gameye, Game and Amiibo Collection Tracker, or one of the other cataloging software. But I'm going to try this one because this was recommended by a lot of Metal Jesus's subscribers. So I'm going to go with it, and what's great is it's absolutely free. Go in, install it, and run the software. Once you've installed it, you can then go to your app on your phone, run it, and it'll then give you the option then to start adding games to your collection. Okay, let's do some scanning of my SNES collection. I'll show you quickly how that works. So I take the option. You've got three different methods that you can use. Manually select, so you can type in the title of, well, I'm going to grab the first one over here, of The Simpsons, and look for it that way. Barcode scanner, if you actually want to just scan the barcode and see if it is in the database. The third option is your Gameye cart scanner. That is now for loose carts, and it actually goes and recognizes the artwork on the cart. So we're going to be using the barcode scanner. It brings it up. You can see it's got the barcode scanner there. So I take my game, I put it down, for example there. I move the barcode scanner over it. There, it picks it up. The Simpsons. Let's take the next one, which is Pack Attack. There, picks it up. Let's just do three more just to show you. Super Mario All Stars. Let's just do one more there. We'll just show you there. There, Super Mario All Stars. Okay, so now it tells me that I have 4 items in queue that I need to now go and give information on. So let's start. I click on the button there because I've got it in batch mode. You can do them individually, scan one, give the information on that one, or go in a batch, easier in a batch. So now it's brought up Pack Attack, which was this title over here. Now sometimes it'll bring up that there is an issue with the scan, not with the scan, but there's something that needs to be resolved in the spelling. So Pack Attack DE. So I just click on there, I take away the DE. There it is there, Pack Attack. I see the same artwork. I check my title. Let's take it out here. Let's just see, because I need to rate the condition of it. It doesn't look too bad. The manual's there. So everything seems to be in the package. So I click on it. I say I confirm that that is the item. Now if you can remember what you paid for the item, you'd put it in there. It's already got the price charting information there, loose, complete in box, new, and so forth. So I've got the game, I've got the manual, and I've got the box. So the game itself, I would give it a 3.5 stars. The manual, 3.5 stars. The box is not bad. Cardboard boxes, they don't last long. 3.5 stars. Any notes that you want to put in here? Nothing that I want to say, except, excuse me. No, I'm not going to put in there, pal. So I say confirm, and it adds it to my collection. Excuse the cough, I am in quarantine. Okay, so now the next one that it's brought up, it's giving me Simpsons. There it is. Where's the Simpsons? Remember, we scanned the Simpsons in. Parts Nightmare. I'll quickly go and once again check. Is everything in its packaging? There's a manual, there's the game. It's not bad condition at all. There we are. And only the selected one. That's it there. I've got the game, I've got the manual, I've got the box. Once again, 3.5, 3.5, 3.5, because they're not bad condition. Confirm. Got it. Let's do Super Mario World 2 Yoshi's Island. Okay, not so good. Condition is not so good. It's got the manual, it's got the game. It doesn't have the inlay, so it's not 100% all there. Let's grab Super Mario. Got the game, got the manual, got the box. So the game, 3.5, the manual, not so good. And the box, not so good because it doesn't have the inlay. Confirm. Let's discard that one. And, oh, I think I went and discarded Super Mario All-Stars. I thought it was a duplicate. But anyway, you get the gist. So now, these are 3 SNES games. Now for me to just go and check to see that they're in my collection. I go out of where I'm scanning. I refine my collection. And I've already gone and scanned all my loose cards in. So let's go console. Nintendo, Super Nintendo, SNES. Apply. Okay, it tells me that I have scanned in 25 games so far. And let's have a look. So those are the loose ones. You can see it says there loose, 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 loose. Pack Attack. Right. Complete in box. Loose, loose, loose. Simpsons Part Nightmare. Complete in box. Loose, 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 loose. And then Super Mario World 2 Yoshi's Island. That's this one. Complete in box. And the rest of them are loose. And now I will continue scanning the rest of my collection. So the best way I find it, or the easiest way to actually work with the program, is to just do a barcode scan of all the titles. It doesn't pick them all up. Then you put aside those ones that you have to do manually. And yeah, then just take it from there. And it's actually quite quick and easy. So now if I go back just on some reports, and I've only just started putting in my collection. I put in a small section. So based off the actual amounts that it is showing here of price charting, it'll give you a report. If I go to reports, it'll tell me which systems. I've got 16 platforms that I've gone and added games in. I've added in 178 games, and the total value for those based off the price charting is £2,000. So that is 20, but it's nearly 40,000 Rand. So that is a lot of money if I had to get those eBay prices. So it's an interesting way of actually seeing your collection. So once you've put in the entire amount, and I'm going to put in some more and then just give you an update just now. You know, I've even put in some MSX titles, although I've had to cheat a bit here. So now, for example, MSX. Now I love my Spectra Video stuff. So now Spectra Video doesn't appear on here because it's not a big enough platform for it to actually be on the database. So the MSX titles or the Spectra Video titles, a lot of them appear on MSX and on Spectra Video. You know, you've got two sides of the tape for the game. So for example, Manic Miner is Spectra Video and MSX on one cartridge. I'd put it in as MSX. So all my Spectra Video collection I'll have to put in on MSX, because Spectra Video doesn't appear. But most of the other big platforms are all there, and it seems to be going quite easily. So let me continue scanning in my collection. Okay, so I have these 3 games over here that I want to try add manually, and as you can see here, manually select. They are for the Atari 400, 800. So I'm going to refine it just to make it a bit easier, just to show you. Atari 400, 800. So it's only going to look in the database for the 400, 800. And if I search for tennis, don't see your game, add it on the game's net. So which is a nice feature, because now all 3 of these, and it's actually a very simple process. I registered for the game's database, and I'll now go and add these 3 games onto the database, and literally it takes only a couple of minutes, and then come back to it and see if it is added on the database, that I can actually find them and then add them to my collection. So let me go onto the database. Okay, so I'm actually on the games database at the moment, and I've registered for it. You can see there, big G, I've registered for it. And at first, when I searched for tennis or music composer or pit stop, they didn't appear on their database at all. And it's got a lovely feature here, which is add new game. So first of all, I've gone and I've added music composer. So let me just go to it. Now if I search it, you'll see there we are. Now it not only brings up music composer for the Commodore 64, which is what it had, it now brings up music composer for the Atari 800. And it was a simple matter. It is really quick if you want to add a game. I'll show you now. Click on add game. So what you do is you go and you put in the title, any alternative names, you put in a little description, you say what genre it is, who the developer is, and you put in the date that it was and the platform. And then once you've done that, you click add. It then adds it to the database. It gives you 1 or 2 warnings to say, are you sure? You know, is this not a duplicate of something else that's there? And then once you've added it and saved it, you can go back into it and add cover art, graphics. You can add graphics to it as well. So all I did was that I put Music Composer on, downloaded the screenshot of the actual cover art, added it to it, and now I have Music Composer there. So I can go back there to there and put in, let's say for example, pit stop, same thing. So now there's pit stop for the Atari 800 with the artwork and everything that's there, which is great. And from there, once that database is now updated on my app on my phone, then I'll be able to find that and actually put it in manually as well. So database works well, and this is a great way for the community to keep a database. I mean, it's hard to believe, but you know, pit stop on the Atari 800, I thought it would have been on the database, or especially Music Composer, you know, or tennis. I mean, very common games and common applications, but they weren't on there. So if we all add to it, it will update the database at the same time and make it easier for other users. Okay, so I went to the games database and I went and I added tennis to the database for the Atari 400, 800. So now if I go to add it, I should find the one that I've put in there if they've updated. So manually select, and I'll just put in refine for the Atari 400, 800, apply, and now I want to search for tennis. There it is there. Now I've even added cover art, although it hasn't come through, it hasn't updated on my system yet. I'm sure that will still come through. I say add. So now I've just got the single cartridge, so I'm going to say game, only the game, condition is fair, so I'll give it a medium condition, and there it's added it. Now if I go back to my Atari, just to look at my collection for the Atari platforms, let me just go, sorry, I went out. So if I refine just for my Atari computers, and these are the games that I've added so far, and you can see there's computer chess, which is one that I also had to add myself. It hasn't come through yet, the actual screen art that I've added on there. Let's just find tennis, Moon Patrol, Star Raiders, Submarine. It's also one that I've added, and there's tennis, one that I've added. Well, I've been adding a couple of games. Well, I've actually added a lot of games so far. And let me just give you an update of where I am. So if I go into Gameye, it tells me that, let me just refine it over here. I want to have a look at how many games I've actually updated. Reset the filters, apply. Okay, so I have gone and added 240 games on my games collection that I've catalogued so far, and I must say I'm only about 10% of the way, so I've got a long way to go still. So I will have to do it as I have time, and I've got time at the moment. So what are the pros, what are the cons of this software, what I've found so far. So let me go through the stuff that I like at the moment. So it gives you a total rundown. Let me just grab a pointer here. Number of games that you have in total. If I go to my report, it tells me how many platforms. I've loaded games so far for 20 platforms, so it's quick and easy for me to go to a specific platform if I want to drill in. A number of games that I've loaded, 240, and what the price charting, based off the information that I've given it, what the value is on price charting. So at the moment I'm sitting at £2,800, which is not bad. So if I go to the Atari, then it will show me all the Atari games that I've loaded, and so forth, so, which is great. When it comes to the actual scanning, or what method you're going to use for updating your catalog, the three methods that are given: manually select, barcode scanner, and the cart scanner. The cart scanner doesn't work well at all. Well, I haven't found it to work well. I've tried it with my N64 games, I've tried it with my SNES games, I've tried it with my Game Boy games, Game Boy Color games, Game Boy Advance games, and 9 times out of 10 it just doesn't recognize the game, or gives you, something totally different. So what I've been doing is a barcode scan, where I've got the actual barcode. I do that first, and that's quick and easy. And where it doesn't pick it up on barcode scanning, or if I only have the actual cartridge itself, I use the manually select method, which is very, very easy to use. The process, it's quite easy to learn, guys. It's not difficult to do. What I do like as well is that it is on my phone, which is normally with me. So if I'm out at a garage sale or anywhere like that, not that I get out often to do that, it's easy for me to check up and search in amongst my games whether I've got that game or not. Now, what don't I like about the software? One, this card scanner, like I said, it doesn't really work. It's more of a gimmick than anything else. Well, I haven't managed to get it to work properly. Part of it might be because most of my collection is PAL. And I think most of the stuff that's maybe on the internet or where it checks against might be the American versions of the game. Otherwise, besides that, there's not much else that I dislike about the software. I find it's quite easy to get around for me to check on there. Some of the other functions which are nice is that you can add, and I haven't done it yet, and I will still add it, peripherals. Okay, so let me see, did I actually add any peripherals? There we are. So now I would actually add in a peripheral. Let me just take it as, I'll delete it afterwards. So I want to add in a peripheral for add it, manually select a peripheral, and I want to add it for my choose a system over here, a specific console, make it easier. I want to add it for, let's say, Nintendo Wii. Okay, now it brings up and I can search for it. Let's say, for example, I have 007 GoldenEye with gold controller. Okay, so I do have some of these special packs that you got where you actually got the controller. So Red Alert 2, I think it was Red Steel 2. I've got the title, it came with a controller. So it should be here. Let me go and have a look. Red, just search Red. No, it doesn't have it over here. So I would then have to add it to the database, because Red Steel 2 for the Wii was actually a nice title, and it came with a remote, so then you'd be able to add it over there. Let's just see what else is here. There's the balance board. I've got the balance board, for example. Then all your different controllers, dance, you know. So that's a nice feature, that you can actually add peripherals to it. Toys to life. Okay. Toy collection. So I take it this must be where you actually add in your amiibos. So let me manually select. There it is. So all your amiibos and your Skylanders and all that sort of thing, especially amiibos. I mean, I always forget which ones I have. I get to a store and they're on special, and yeah, I need to now try to remember which ones I have and which ones I don't. So once again, be able to scan in or manually add in your amiibo. You can see the Agent P or Airstrike, Imaginators, Aladdin. I'm sure it's got all of those Infinity and whatever toys that go with the different games. And then export. You can export, once you've cataloged everything and you're happy, you can create a spreadsheet, which I haven't done yet because I'm not finished. Create a restore point so you can save it. So I suppose that's just, so far I haven't created one. I need to actually create one, because it just seems to keep it up and running. And then create a list. Let's see what other functions are here. Connect, I suppose, to other people. Share, I haven't used that function yet. So I haven't used all the functions. Oh, systems, I haven't used systems yet. So let me see what systems I can add. Manually pick, and there we have it. 3DO, you know, Atari 2600, which is great. So I can now go add in my systems as well. Let's just see if they have anything to do. Filter by computer. That's one of the problems I do have, is that it doesn't have all my computers. So it's got MSX, Amiga, CPC, Commodore, Sinclair, Acorn, SAM, but doesn't have my Spectra Video stuff in. So that I'll have to most probably add in manually or update the database for it. And let us just go back to the games. So guys, that's it. I've spent a day or two now on using this cataloging software. I've enjoyed using it. I've still got a long way to go. I believe it's a good idea to catalog your collection. It's always nice to know what the value is of your collection, and keep track of what you need and what you want. I think there's actually you can actually even put in a wish list. Let's see, more. There we are, wish list or trade. So if I go into wish list, I can go and click in there what I'm actually looking for as well. That's actually nice. I haven't used that feature yet. What else was there? Trade. Okay, what do I want to sell? So I can go and choose in my collection if there's any items that I want to sell, which is also great. The software is easy to use. I haven't had a problem. I've just, you know, you just find your way around it, and you know, it's not that difficult at all. So guys, I believe it's good to catalog your software. See what you do. See if you're also going to use the same, or maybe you've used a different cataloging software which is better than this. So put a comment down in the link. Put a link down in the comments for what software you're using, and any comments down below on whether you believe it's actually good to catalog your software or not. And yeah, I'll see how it goes. I might do an update video once I've actually completed cataloging everything. Actually, I think I will do that, but it might take a lot longer. I don't know how long this coronavirus is going to keep us all self-quarantined in our games rooms, but yeah, I've got the time, so I'm going to continue doing it. Okay guys, cheers from me, and remember, keep it retro.